scary.
Seinfuck.
So yeah, I was in a tree half an hour ago.
What do you mean you were in a tree?
I was in a tree. I was doing landscaping work.
You are 30 years old.
Yeah, and I was up there with a sawzall and was just chopping it down. It was great.
Yeah.
Shirt off, sawzall, running.
Oh yeah, no, it wasn't the shirt off. I mean, if obviously this is an audio podcast, but I was in the Italian wife beater.
Yeah.
You see,
up in the
Robert, you're a man
tree.
of quality. All right.
Oh yeah,
I think
look
we're
at
all wife
that.
beater boys here now.
Marron.
Marron.
I'm wearing a
Marron.
t-shirt. I got nothing.
Oh.
No, he's got a blanket that he sits with on his
I got my blanket.
desk, just in case his tootsies get a little
You're
cold.
like probably the one person who should wear an undershirt because it would provide like a slight degree of warmth.
Who, me?
Who you? Yeah,
Yes, you were like a stone's throw away from the Arctic Circle. Like, come on.
I mean, I'm in Vancouver. I'm basically in Seattle. Like, that's what it is.
you. Okay, whatever. You
I'm in a
wanna do.
rainforest.
Is it a rainforest? Is that technically
Yes.
true?
It is
technically
a
true.
rainforest. I knew that.
That's
Yeah.
a strange place to put one. God,
Why?
Yeah, what the fuck, guys?
it's so close to the most freezing part of the world. That's why.
I was watching a thing, just to show that I'm an absolute dork. I was hanging out with my mom the other day watching
Nice.
Nova.
What's Nova?
It's a science show, like a Nat Geo
It's a
thing.
science show. It's publicly funded. It's a whole thing.
Is it like a PBS thing?
Yeah, it's like a PBS.
Yeah, it's
Nat
kind of
Geo
like a
thing.
PBS thing. So I was watching Nova, and they were talking about this thing, ancient DNA, where they were going in, this crazy guy from Copenhagen, however the hell you
It's
say it.
Copenhagen. As someone who's been to Copenhagen, I can say with confidence.
You can't see this, listener, but I am doing the jerk off motion because Malcolm deserves it. No, but so it's this crazy guy from Copenhagen, and he was just going in and drilling into like permafrost and finding ancient DNA of like whole ass ecosystems from like 10,000 years ago.
I want to say right now that you always try to correct me with my grammar and pronunciation for things, and then when I corrected you, you immediately went back to the incorrect pronunciation.
Well,
of
yeah,
Copenhagen.
I'm cooler than you.
It's not.
No, you're
Copenhagen.
not. You're not even.
You just
true.
assume that's how they say it because they're Swedish. You think
Yeah,
they're going hinger dinger
Copenhagen?
Copenhagen? Would you
Yes,
like to go to
exactly. That is
Copenhagen?
exactly what I think.
I'm gonna
they're
have
doing.
some Haagen-Dazs in Copenhagen.
I'm gonna have some Haagen-Dazs into Copenhagen.
It's Copenhagen,
No.
like Copenhagen wintergreen long cut, please.
Yeah.
You don't even dip anymore.
I never dipped to begin with.
I thought you did for a bit. Maybe
No,
that was your.
My friends used to bring dip when we went drinking. Have you ever gotten so drunk that someone offers you any kind of tobacco and you have no impulse control, so it's just automatically in your mouth?
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, you get a pouch, you spit,
And then you get really queasy and probably vomit.
you don't swallow. That's a bad idea.
You swallowed it?
If you're drunk, you can't always tell. Yeah, and if you're just like drinking like beer and have a lip in,
You have a
you're
lip
not
in while you're drinking.
regulating.
Robert's partying too hard. It's incredible.
I am too hard. I got the
Were you-
shit kicked
You're
out of
very
me the
hard,
other
bro.
day. So
Yeah, I was gonna say that we should talk about this. Only if you're comfortable, Robert.
hold
But
on.
the fact
Let's
that-
get into the ancient DNA.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Here, you
who's
want me to
ancient
eat
They were
you?
DNA?
talking. Okay, I will just to bookend it. There was a whole thing. Insane guy from Copenhagen, and it was apparently ancient DNA. And there was like, oh yeah, and there used to be camels in the Arctic. And the first thing, I know this is probably wrong, but the first thing was just bullshit, bull fucking shit. There were camels in the Arctic.
What if they were woolly camels?
Camels aren't woolly already.
They could be woollier.
You think there could be wool? Is it like a cow versus Highland cow thing?
Maybe in the Arctic they needed the extra wool and the water storage systems because there was so few watering holes in the Arctic that were above 32 degrees Fahrenheit.
Oh yeah. Did
so-
you watch this Nova special?
No, I am a heterosexual male in my 20s.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is what your public dollars are going to. Nova, where gay people go to pretend to like science.
I want to talk about something before you get into your story,
Getting
Robert.
the shit kicked out of me.
Well, it could be a good ease-in if you look at it like this, because I was having a few drinks.
I'll give you a good easing.
Oh,
Oh,
don't threaten me with a good
Ooh.
time. So I had to cancel our last recording session because I accidentally double booked myself on a concert that I had unfortunately not been able to back out of at the last minute.
Well, you should. Okay, well, that's fair.
I am really sorry about that.
And you didn't. I mean, it's also you weren't paying for the tickets, right?
Right.
Also, you kept calling it an event. You're like, I have to go
It's
to
a
an
non-
event.
I'm
specific.
sorry. I have a prior event.
Yeah,
It is something that
I said I had a
must not be
scenario I
missed.
must attend.
I
A scenario.
absolutely cannot miss this
I
whatsoever.
really can't cancel now. I really need to reschedule.
Really.
And Robert got very mad at me and had some choice words for me in DMs about being a good friend and what it means to keep your commitments. But I went to see 68 with a couple of friends. A couple of bands opened up for them. The Homeless Gospel Choir, Death.gov, and the Callous Dowboys.
Are the Callous Dowboys all gay? It just seems like a band.
Yeah,
that would be
what's
all
going
gay.
on?
It was a very diverse crowd.
Amazing.
Good, great.
The Callous
It's a punk show.
Mesa. The Callous Dowboys play more of a hardcore kind of scene, and there was a mosh pit going. And I had a few beers, and I was wearing my replica Vegeta Bad Man shirt. Yes, the pink one that has Bad Man written on the back. And I am a 300-pound man, and I thought I'll just go in the mosh pit and see what happens.
Oh no!
No one wants to mosh with a 300-pound man, as it turns out.
No, because you fall over, you're taking out half the crowd with you.
Well, there's the thing, Robert. There's always a drink that's spilled on the mosh pit floor, right?
Yeah.
So you will inevitably get pushed into this mysterious liquid, whether it be a drink or bodily fluids or whatever it is. It could be anything.
Yeah, someone's water breaks. It happens.
Someone's water broke in the ball pit, and I go a spilling over. Well, I'm not a young man anymore, so I forgot to take my glasses off, and they shatter immediatly upon hitting the ground.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's why you're recording right now with your without your glasses. Because usually for the listeners, Harper's usually in glasses, but right now we can see his Sweet Baby Blues. They're on display, and it's a treat.
Oh God, wear contacts, Harper. Jesus.
He's got good. He's got piercing eyes. He's got the eyes for camera.
Yours are more of a gray blue. His are more of like a blue, and mine are just dumbass brown.
It's the shirt. It makes
mine
it
are
pop.
shit brown.
Well,
yeah.
I was still drunk, so I didn't know what was going on. And
you get out of the pit and you go up to feel like adjust your glasses, and they're not there.
I am covered in like shit or something. And it was a mysterious fluid, if you could call it that. It stunk. And I was really in a large degree of confusion about it. And I got home and I hadn't looked at my clothes until that point. I have not seen this color in nature, but it was a sort of greenish blue that looks like
no.
Did you go to a Gigi Allen show? Like, what the hell?
I went to a David Lynch spectacular, and
yeah, you went to Twin Peaks, the concert.
Twin Peaks, the experience.
I have spent another $15 on a replica Bad Man shirt, so that is.
Oh no! It was just ruined.
My shoulder hurts. I need new glasses. I can't drive without them. The bands were good is the positive side. The negative side is that after I tried to go back in the pit, people pushed me out of the pit.
Get this fucker out of here.
They're like, this, please. You can't handle the pit.
It wasn't well, everyone likes pushing everybody around until the guy's bigger than them, and then it's not a big big thrill
until
anymore.
you push back and you really only push off.
I get a bad luck in mosh pits. Every time I go in mosh pits, I get trampled, or I break something, or someone crowd kills near me. And you know what crowd killing is?
Crowd kill. Yeah, I don't know what that means.
So if you ever seen hardcore dancing, you ever seen those kids?
Yeah. Yeah,
Milli Vanilli type motherfuckers that are always like, the Simpsons bit where he's just like, well, I'm just going to start punching. And if you come any closer, I'm not going to be responsible for what happens.
Yeah, I have seen those.
And it's a dance move. But then they also wear those weird, really wide pants.
And they like spin kick and like do the lawnmower thing.
Usually have long hair.
No, they're usually like middling to overweight kids in like combat camo shorts.
Yeah, I guess they do have like the fucking Doc Martens with the inch eyes.
Yeah, exactly. Well, crowd killing is when you're doing that and no one else is. And in order to hit people, you actively go and find them on the outside of the circle that people have made to give you space. And you hit them.
Migrate towards where people are, yeah.
Good way to get your ass beat. People do punch back when you do that. And what's funny is a lot of the time is those people are crowd killing, they get punched and they just move on like nothing happened and keep dancing. It's like they totally expected it.
I have seen a dude straight up like crowd kill and start crying because
what a pussy.
He just like crumpled and like covered his face. It was honestly kind of sad.
Turtled?
I think it was.
Was he like a 15-year-old?
100%.
Like just like out of his element? He's like, he shouldn't have been there.
He had to be like a 16-year-old. Just absolutely. He learned.
There was an old woman at the Real Big Fish show me and Robert went to forever ago.
Oh,
and
long time ago.
The moshing at a Real Big Fish show, I cannot stress, is middling. It almost does not exist. If you were moshing at a Real Big Fish show, it's almost a joke because it's kind of funny to you.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't feel like that's a band that I would be like, yeah, they're a mosh pit.
People moshed harder at the opening acts than at the Real Big Fish set.
I feel like, I don't know why. Maybe it's because I don't really know the Real Big Fish that well in terms of their musicality, but I always just feel like they're like an adjacent to like Jason Mraz or Jack Johnson. Like,
Correct.
I don't know why.
It's soft.
I mean, in softness,
It's
maybe
soft.
not in like genre. I wouldn't want.
In soul.
I really wouldn't want the lead singer of Real Big Fish like singing at me and my date like Jason Mraz would, because he had that. Didn't he have like a Las Vegas residency or whatnot? Jason Mraz.
Maybe. Well, yeah, I know Jason Mraz has done Broadway. He's been like a Broadway guy.
Well, anyway, there's an old woman next to the pit, and she gets clocked a little bit. Not even like someone got pushed into her, and she got very upset.
Was she the one with the kind of like really hard underbite?
Yeah.
And kind of like the jowly? Yeah, okay. I know
she was
who
an
you're
older
talking
woman.
about. I remember.
She got very upset, and she like grabbed the mosher like she was his mother and started yelling at him. Security ejected her, which was pretty funny. This is a show where to get a kick, people will, get a giant inflatable like dolphin to pass around. It's not a hardcore show.
No.
Well, Robert,
I'm trying to remember. Like, I remember in university, producer Sasha and I were at the same university. He kept being like, "You need to come to this band, Matt and Kim." I don't know if you know who Matt and Kim are.
I've heard of it. Yeah.
They were like a really
not
big
my
band.
kind of deal, but I know of it.
About 10 years ago, like you would have heard their song in commercials and stuff. And like, I'm a guy who, I probably talked about this on the podcast before. I always feel like I'm late to the game. Like, I'll get into a band or I'll get into a comedian just like the week after they like leave the city that I've come into. Like, they've already visited. I'm like, oh shit, I missed this boat. And that happened with Matt Kim, where I was being invited. I'm like, you got to go to the concert. You got to go to this concert. And I was like, I don't know. I don't know. I'm not a concert guy. I don't know this band. And I started listening to them like night of the concert. And I just go, fuck! Like, I would have probably liked it. Producer Sasha, and a friend of ours, I'll just name Ernie, because that's his nickname. And I think he wishes
not
that was
his
his
legal name, so we can say it.
Yeah, exactly. But he knows who he is. They came back from this concert and they're like, oh man, had so much fun. Apparently there was like a super intense like mosh pit. They come back, they're soaking wet from just sweat. And then there's blood on like one of their backs, like a handprint
oh my god,
of just
100%.
blood. And then they kept trying to hug me. They're like, oh, hey, it was hugs? Like time for hugs? I'm like,
yeah, dude. Why not?
You have no sense of personal boundaries after you've been in a mosh pit. And if you like, especially if you come out covered in other people's sweat, including your own, no, I'm sorry.
Yeah, and that was the thing where it was when I saw the blood on Ernie's shirt where I was like, I went from being like, oh man, I missed the concert. I'm such an idiot. I should have gone to it. To all of a sudden I was like, you know what? I think I'm good. I think I'm doing okay.
You're not a mosher, Malcolm. I'm sorry.
No, I'm not.
No, Malcolm, don't listen to him. You would have a lot of fun doing it.
No, I'm too bad. The problem is I'm like too tall, and now just like a little too like
big guys in the pit, Malcolm.
You would be a target, I will say. Most people are going to target.
I've been a target at like very soft concerts. This is a Vancouver band called Hey Ocean, and I was at their concert once, and with the band Hey Ocean, they like have this giant beach ball that you can hit up like in the theater, like the venue we were at. They were like, and what was happening is the beach ball would come to my area, and I was taller than everyone, so I would just like touch it. I got elbowed in the ribs that concert like 4 times, to the point where I was like, I have to go. Like, I'm worried I'm gonna break a rib, because I would like reach up to get it, and someone around me would just go like, and it would just go like, ah.
Yeah, because you should have let them hit it.
Well, I want to have fun. It's not my fault.
Malcolm, when you are at a hockey game, do you always get the t-shirts as well out of the t-shirt cannon?
They're shooting the cannon, you just like hand up, just swat it from people's hands. Like under your arm, you have like 6 t-shirts.
I really want to. Happen. That's like a dream of mine. I haven't. They're usually like I'm too far. Like either like the rows are like too far away, or like I'm never in the right.
He's got
section.
too good of seats, Harper's seats are too
No,
good.
that's not the issue. I know that's the issue. It's not the issue.
No,
they always throw shirts to the good seats.
Yeah. No, I think it's Harper's right. It's because I'm not in a good seat.
Let me make my joke.
Because he paid $35 for that ticket.
Yeah.
If it's in the right stadium, it's really not that big a deal. That's one of the things I like about like Petco Park here in San Diego. Even the nosebleeds are like decent seats. You can see what's happening.
Oh, I want to say the reason I go get the cheaper seats at Rogers Arena is because the sight lines are really good no matter where.
Yeah.
At the Canucks Dome, yeah.
Yeah, the home of the Canucks, obviously. Although, in fairness, should have declared which Rogers Arena, because there's like 8 of them across Canada. It's one of those things where I just remember like going back and like going to the Hey Ocean story, elbowed, and then I had to vacate up the stairs and basically sit in this like the one seated section and like basically just like make sure I didn't like break a rib.
I always like adopt people in the pit. There's usually like one tiny person in like a mosh pit. I'm just like, okay, I gotta try to make sure you don't die.
Yeah, I try to hurt those people. I do. I'll try to hurt those people first, especially if they're like not children, but like if they're scrawny, approximate 18-year-olds. I'll push them, you know?
I mean, there's some like 14-year-old girls who'll just jump into a pit and
I'm not trying to punch little girls. That is funny, but I'm not doing that.
That's what they hop in for, and that's kind of what they're going to get. Let's be honest. I
don't like it when guys get in the mosh pit area with their girls, like with their arms wrapped around them. I think that's kind of like, I don't want to say that it's like weak or whatever, but if you're not going to mosh, don't stand there and don't get mad when people who are moshing hit you and your girlfriend inevitably because you're standing in the whale zone. People who push against the guardrails too are probably
I was up against the guardrails at one show. I think it was one of the show we went to together, and the guy just starts stabbing me with a beer can. So one and only time I've ever been like, security fucking help me, because he's got a crumpled up beer can like folded in half, so like the middle section's got a nice point to it, and he's just stabbing it into my side.
I'm trying to get you to move.
That's fun.
I mean, he was trying to get me to move, but at the same time, I'm not going to move if you stab me with a beer can. I'm going to elbow you and then call security on you.
Yeah.
Daddy, security! I'm being stabbed right now.
I can't handle my own problems. Security.
I'm so sorry. I'm bleeding too much.
Security's
help.
Yeah. And then the person you're trying to be like impress, you're like, little guy, see, this is how you do it when you're getting attacked.
Here's how you do it, little guy. Just a little pat on the head.
Yeah, you pat him on the head and you go, security, I need help. He's attacking me. I'm being attacked.
Remember, if the blade isn't bigger than 1 inch, it doesn't count as aggravated assault.
But don't worry, security, he's threatening me.
Security.
He says I'm a threat to society.
Now, Robert, I've delayed your story long enough with this nonsense about crowds.
It's not even like an interesting story, if I'm being
It is an
honest.
interesting
It's
story.
pretty
What the fuck are you talking about? You finished the recording for the last episode, and then within 8 hours, you're like, I have a concussion. I was beaten by a crackhead. Like, what are you talking about? It's not an interesting story.
I mean, that's basically the story.
Great story, though.
No.
You have this inability to decipher what is a great story that you have and what you think is a good story. It's incredible.
guess.
It's a talent.
It's a talent that I'm willfully ignorant. Yeah.
Yeah.
Robert gets himself in situations when he goes drinking after recordings. It's not his
Yeah.
fault. It's just that world is
it's
rotten.
my fault.
and
The world
he's
is
so
rotten.
kind and trusting of people who he thinks want to show him a good time.
No, people trust me. Let's be frank. Like, people tend to like weirdly trust me. It reminds me of a story of some guy I used to work with he was just a British guy. I won't say his name, but his entire
Let's
job
just say
was,
his name was Prince William.
his name was
The Duke of Orange.
Prince Harry, and he's currently in exile in America with his girlfriend who is in Suits. No, it was just this British guy who would go, and essentially his job was taking pictures of people's houses, but really what he would do was just break into their backyards and then take pictures of houses. And you know what people did after like catching him out? Be like, "Oh, what are you doing in my yard?" They'd invite him in to take the pictures of the inside of their house. And it's just like, you would have been an incredible serial killer. I'm not to that level, but it's to the point where like I go out drinking, or I go out just even if I'm not drinking a crap ton and I'm just hanging out with people, or just like, "Oh yeah, we're going back to my place. Why don't you come along? We'd love to have you," kind of deal. It's like, I met you 2 hours ago.
It's because you know where security is. When people are like,
security, they're trying to take me home. No, so I was at a friend's place. Let's call her a friend. And
This place, we'll call it a place for now.
essentially their roommate, in so many words, came over, found me there, and punched the living daylights out of me for various reasons. Had a whole thing. I can't say this too loud. Had a whole thing where he thought a gun went missing in his collection. And then had me empty my pockets on his coffee table, then kicked me out of his house and beat me some more. The bruising is cleared up quite a bit. You can still see a little bit on this side.
You've
Obviously,
recovered nicely.
viewers can't see.
The foundation looks good too.
I am actually, and it's the whole thing.
Are you wearing foundation right now?
I am genuinely wearing foundation, mostly on the neck.
I didn't know that.
I didn't know that.
I was
thought
joking. I did not know that.
joking.
Okay.
Because
Also, the lighting is a little is a little.
I
Dark
thought
in
that
this room
skin
that
looked
I
too
am.
good to be true. And I'm always right about this.
yeah, so, you know what they say about Harper. This man knows skin. This guy.
This
is a skin
man
guy.
is a skin expert. From the time I was in a hole in his house that he sprayed me with water.
Tell you what I'm an expert in is getting farted in front of now. Like I've been to 3
What?
different events in 3 days, and every event someone has farted directly in front of me, audibly,
Nice.
perceptually. Like I can smell it
Perceptually.
immediately, and I don't know what I've done to deserve this. I think I am a good Christian. I pray to God and I respect my elderly people. So why am I at church? Why
'Cause you don't
am
respect women.
Yeah, I think it's because the phrase "good Christian" is an oxymoron. So
Oh,
Reddit is down the hall and to the left, Malcolm? If you're going to tip your fedora at me, please clean it first.
clean the cum off of it.
Yeah, so
come on, her. I barely know her.
good one.
um,
Everyone likes a barely know her
That's a
joke.
joke for a mutual friend of ours.
You guys ever seen that Shogun series? New series Shogun that's out?
I haven't seen it yet. I want to. I'm currently trying to finish up The Curse, which is a very hard show to get through as like a
I struggled through the first episode. I need a breather.
What's wrong with The Curse?
It's that
Awkward.
it's really awkward. It's like it's Nathan Fielder.
It's very dry. It's very awkward. It's a hard watch.
So it's great television, very well acted, directed, written. It's a scripted show. But it's like, oh my God. And like they use certain anatomy as means for jump scares in a way that I've never seen before.
That's disgusting. I can already tell it's disgusting.
It's a show I kind of have to literally watch with like crossed arms, being like, I can do this. I can do this.
Protecting yourself with your posture, just watching a television show. Like
it's good. It's just not comfy watching. Oh, we got off topic. So I got the shit kicked out of me.
Yeah.
And the guy, I got no help from the girl, let's be honest here. That's a whole different thing. But a guy kicked me out of his house. All my stuff was inside, but he left the back sliding glass door open. So I broke into his backyard. His dogs really like me, so that's nice. And I stole back most of my stuff.
God damn. That's scary as fuck. I would not have done that same thing in your situation.
Oh, yeah. No, I messaged you as I was like hiding in his backyard, trying to work up the courage to break in and steal my shit back.
I was in the tub jerking my dick when you fucking sent me your first message, and it totally killed everything I was going for.
I'm sorry.
It really, I was worried. And I went back to it, and I was just like, I can't. In good conscience, jerk my cock knowing my friend's in trouble.
I didn't even know that part of the story. This is actually new to me.
I didn't know that part of the story.
No, not the jerking. Harper was jerking himself off, being like, as Robert's doing low stakes, like Mission Impossible stuff.
As I'm trying to get my like sweater and my cell phone back, and I got everything but my wallet, and then the girl dropped off my wallet at a bar we were at earlier, and that was a whole thing.
I'm joking my cock, and Robert's like, I got beat up by a crackhead. I'm trying to break into his house and get my shit back. And like it comes up on my Discord, I'm like, and the Discord, I'm like, damn, are you okay? And I go back to
and I keep messaging you. There was no time in between.
Like eventually, you could probably look back at those messages and see the point where I'm like, have you ever done that, Malcolm? Have you ever been jerking your cock and gotten upsetting news and tried to get back into it?
I have, yeah.
What happened with you?
Well, I found out.
Don't say you found out your dad died because I
no. It wasn't that. I was
You
present
were jerking off in the tub at 6:17 a.m.
Yeah, dude, I had an early morning.
Wait a minute. You broke in at 6 a.m. to this place?
Oh, yeah, 100%.
I thought it was like much later. Like I thought it would have been like
No, I was out all night. I did not
Robert
sleep.
strikes while the iron's hot.
I did not sleep.
So you went back.
I probably hopped his fence at like 5:30.
Holy shit. That's incredible. It's
dedication honestly, to the craft, okay?
My
man is Bilbo.
I was jerking it, and then I found out I got fired from a job, and that really bummed me out. And then
well, you know what you need to do then.
We have to go to our separate directions. You're like,
I'm like, fuck.
Phone face down, just out of reach.
That post nut clarity would be destructive. I wouldn't finish for that reason alone.
I could see myself cursing out an old boss if I did that.
Yeah. Who needs like mushrooms or anything when you could just have that clarity after that?
You can have PNC.
Yeah, that one was okay because I didn't like the job at the time, but I was also very much, I was like, fuck, like it just ruined it. Like I was like, I can't go back.
Reminder, good piece of advice for those who make compulsive purchases, jerk off first, and if you still want it, then it's probably a good idea.
Same thing with getting into relationships with women.
And getting tattoos.
Just don't go to a bar without having jerked off first.
I can 100% confirm that. Genuinely.
Because you will make a mistake.
You will make a mistake. You will be at someone's house, and then their whatever the fuck they are will then rob you.
Well, I wasn't talking about that. I was.
Then you'll have to break into their house later,
Yeah.
pet their dogs for like 30 minutes.
You maybe really need to jerk off before you go to bars. But like,
Yeah, it's you know what? I will give you
Maybe it's the
permission.
second one that would fix me.
maybe you got to release a single before you cut an album, buddy. And
I love that so much. Yeah. Have you noticed, this is such a weird tangent, but have you noticed that they've gone from like my 400-pound life to like my 1,000-pound life?
they're like 500-pound sister or 1,000-pound sisters because they both weigh 500 pounds.
1,000-pound sisters. That's what it is. Because one's like 400 and one's 600.
It's like an exclusively American. I've never seen it outside of the American South. Have you?
There is no one. There is absolutely no one in Europe who is like 700 pounds. I would bet money.
It's like 3 people, and like they worked for it.
It's
like,
because you
it was
can
like,
walk in their cities. I'm pretty sure.
Oh, 100%. It's all about walkability. Like it's all walking. Like if you're like, I just get in the car and I drive here, and then I just roll into this place.
I get on my side. I roll into Walmart.
Yeah, you know, like I think it's just everything. So it's so easy to just drive everywhere. Yeah, in Europe, the cities were built like hundreds of years ago, so you can barely get a car in. Like, you know, so there's no driving.
Let alone, you try to imagine driving like a Suburban in like downtown London. It would not work.
I don't want to imagine being in London. So I have a question.
Man doesn't want to get stabbed. Let's be honest.
Yeah, let's put it in Seville instead.
Yeah, you know exactly what video it's on. It's funny as fuck.
Yeah, or we could set the hypothetical to that city in Denmark that Robert totally knows how to pronounce.
Yes, Copenhagen.
Yes.
Oh, you finally do it.
I did it.
Robert.
We fucked up. It's Copenhagen, you fucking idiot.
Yeah, you dumbo.
Wait, I said it the right way on accident.
You said it the right way.
You dumbo. That's sick. I like that better than dummy.
You a kid from the 60s? Oh, look at this dumbo Wolfie.
Yeah. Shut up, dumbo. You got fucking scored.
Get your dumbo ass out of here.
Right, Robert, you keep evading my question. How fat is a woman before she is fat to you?
Sasha, bleep this. Like,
before I play Malcolm and Harper's responses, just know they are completely justified in their reaction, and Robert is really limiting his options.
That is insane.
What?
That is not fat at all.
What's not fat, you fucking pig?
That's
oh my
it. You
God.
are Patrick Bateman.
I'm sorry, it's the skinniest one.
Pounds.
The skinniest of the podcast.
She better be, she's got to be and 6'1".
You have to bleep that, Sasha. I'm going to get killed. I will get killed. I will be murdered. This will cancel me in like 5 years if I ever have a career.
Guys. If she ain't too lady. Fuck, I fucked it
up. Come on, you can do it.
Take 2, ready? Yeah. Check this one out.
Take 2, yeah.
If she ain't too lady, she ain't a lady.
There you go.
We got it out. Shouts out to Moore. That's his joke because he works on semi trucks, and I'm sure he hears it a lot there.
Yeah, probably.
Okay, I'm not doing this. I am in my parents' guest room.
Let me answer this question for you.
The house. The walls in this house are very thin.
I will be acting as Robert's fetish liaison. Okay,
my fetish translator, please.
Liaison. So,
looks like you're fisting in half.
Robert was showing me where the wild goose goes. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, Robert appreciates a woman who does not have a huge ass, but an appropriately shaped ass. It must be in a certain circumference, within the golden mean. Have you ever seen the golden mean before?
High and tight.
Now, if an ass sags and she is below, say, 120 pounds, what are we doing wrong? We have to ask ourselves this. If your ass sags, ladies, and you are approximately between the weight of 115 and 135,
we can't do this.
You are an office worker. I am
This is all
a sort of
getting cut.
corporate Nostradamus. I know exactly what you do all day.
Corporate Nostradamus cannot be applied to sexual harassment.
Sure it can. Sure it can. Nostradamus predicted a lot of sexual things, like 9/11.
I hate that I involuntarily laughed.
You just laughed because I said 9/11. You would have laughed no matter what I said.
Oh yeah, come on, let's test it.
9/11.
9/11.
Anyway,
Okay.
I'm still trying to find out where to hang that poster. Speaking of 9/11, but yeah,
Here, I have a post I'd like to read that I want you to get your guys' read on.
I don't look good fucking. Like, I'm not taping it.
Look
Like, I
at all
don't
of
think
us,
Here's
okay?
one of us.
None of us looks good fucking. Not even
Robert
Howard.
would.
Harper,
No,
you look-
Robert would.
I would say you'd probably. I think you could pull it off.
For the listeners out there, Harper
is
went
why we
like
need video.
kind of scrunched down and was doing like a POV thing, and it was just like you could kind of like, if he was blurry,
The
like
headphones lost.
he lost the headphones. Oh, it
my
was
bad.
glorious. We'll be switching the video
I ball
soon
my
enough.
fists up like a gorilla's when I'm making love to a woman and I'm on top. I ball my fists up.
You gotta grab the neck. You either grab the hair, grab the neck.
I don't want her
You
to
gotta
think I
go.
like her. I don't want her to think that.
You got enough space. Leave enough room for Jesus.
I got my fist balled in case I need to fend off intruders.
Christ is right there. You gotta respect the room for Christ.
Absolutely. I consent.
Oh my
I consent.
God.
I don't.
No, Jesus is in the corner on the cut couch going, yeah, I consent.
Jesus wouldn't do that. Jesus wouldn't say that.
Jesus is only will only cuck it if his father says he has to.
Jesus wouldn't do that. Stop saying that about Jesus. One of the apostles might have.
Yeah, definitely John.
I don't know, Judas, probably. We had an off-ramp just now that I totally neglected.
I was going to talk about this Reddit post I was going to read because
yes,
I wanted to cosplay as Malcolm.
All right, let's do it. Do my thing. All right.
Okay, so
My
here's
thing.
a post from
Easy, too easy.
r/DPH, which I actually don't know what that is. DPH. You want to? One of you
Double
guys want to figure this?
penetration hand jobs.
Double penetration hotline. Hey, quick! I need help. There are 3 guys here.
What's the nature of your emergency?
No, actually,
big
what
fuck, but
what
my
is
dick-
r/DPH?
he's a
It
jerk.
does say it's an NSFW.
Okay. All right. Well, read the thing. Do
I'm
it.
legit. No, Google this. I want to know.
Okay. What are you looking? What am
Just
I
read the
googling?
post. Read the post. DPH.
No. What am I googling? What am
I'll
I googling?
Google it. Don't
What
you
is
worry your pretty little head.
r/DPH?
It's a sub about people who take copious amounts of Benadryl to get high.
To see that, man.
I see. That is not safe to do, by the way. And you shouldn't do it because it'll destroy your kidneys.
Okay, here's the post.
I found it out from r/wow. This sub exists. That's
Okay,
Oh.
so here's the post. I'm going to read it in its entirety. So from r/DPH, the Hat Man does not respect gender pronouns past 450 milligrams. Took 600 milligrams and the Hat Man appeared to me for the second time. Unlike the first time, this encounter wasn't neutral. He slowly opened my bedroom door and whispered my name. I didn't know what to do, so I just laid there and didn't even attempt to respond. He then slowly entered my room and just stood in the corner and telepathically misgendered me for 3 or 4 minutes straight and said I couldn't even do some simple shit like take out the trash or some shit. I got so mad I was able to close my eyes and roll over some. When I gathered just the strength to sit up and turn over to face him, he was gone like a little bitch. Ladies and gentlemen, you've heard it here first. Hat Man canceled.
That reminds me of this this article I read one time where this guy was like, I took DMT and the Clockwork Elves were racist. And he was a black guy.
Because they talk about Clockwork Elves when people take DMT, so it's
My friend said that the elves were making a machine. They turned around, saw him, and said, "Hey, look, the N-word is back."
Jesus Christ.
They started chanting N-word, N-word. I was surrounded by the elves, and they all started chanting Emmett Till, Emmett Till.
No!
Oh my god!
This is real. This is not a fake testimonial. This is a black man who took DMT and reported his
And
findings.
found out a little bit too much about the universe.
That would suck so bad if there were invisible entities and that they were like this level.
Just racist and transphobic.
I did look on the r/d DPH, which they won't load for me fully, but I did see a headline that just goes, "Jordan Peterson has stolen my voice and won't let me speak."
Now, imagine yourself. Imagine yourself with the liberals.
That's Ben Peter. That's Ben Stiller.
That's Ben Shapiro.
Okay.
That's Ben Peterson.
That's Ben Stiller.
No,
Hi,
Ben,
I'm with Meet the
Shapiro.
Fuckers.
Um,
Obviously, that's not Ben Stiller.
If the Hat Man is to be respected,
The Hat Man represents chaos.
if the disrespecting of the Hat Man is the fall of Western civilization,
What are we doing here?
what are we
the
doing
Hat
here?
Man does not respect Sydney Sweeney's
What the hell is
massive
going on?
The decay in human civilization.
What's the deal with people trying to see Sydney Sweeney's tits? By the way,
Oh, it's a whole weird conservative jerk
Oh yeah,
thing.
they're all like, they're taking this from us, and it's just photos.
No, it's not even that they're taking this from us. It's like, this is the last bastion of Western civilization.
Oh,
It's they're being about as weird with it as they are with Abigail Shapiro.
Well, I do want to tit fuck Abigail Shapiro.
My favorite is they're also believing that Sydney Sweeney with big naturals is pissing off liberals who are like, she's walking around gay spaces. The liberals are losing control.
Malcolm, let's take a step back here. Having big tits on the libs would be sick.
Look at this
okay?
logically.
Ladies, if you want to have big tits in order to own those sissy liberals, I am in full support of you.
100%.
1,000%. I will convert to conservatism because your tits are huge, and you will show them to me.
Bit. I mean, there was someone writing an article. I think I posted it to our Discord that was just like, the bubbly blonde with huge knockers is an extinct facet of the American civilization.
Not true.
American
you just have not been outside enough. That is simply not the case. Go to a NASCAR event. Go to Country Thunder.
Yeah.
Go to Country Thunder, and you will find 1,000 bubbly blondes with huge tits.
Oh yeah. So here's an article from The Spectator was, for anyone under the age of 25, they've likely never seen it in their lifetime, as the giggling blonde with an amazing rack has been stamped out of existence, a creature shamed to the brink of extinction. Oh
yes,
my God.
You live in New York, and I can tell. You have never been outside of New York, and you don't care to be. I think that's fine personally, but don't judge your experience on New York and some parts of New Jersey.
Go to Country Thunder.
Go to Country
There
Thunder.
will be
Go to fucking NASCAR.
There are 20 to 30 something year old women's with just down to here. It's incredible. It's a sight to behold.
This is not a related story completely, but there was this fertility figure type woman that I used to know. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Oh, like the fertility idols from like ancient Samaria.
Yeah, that kind of body type.
You got curves, yeah.
Oh, and she was like a relative of a coworker, and another coworker of mine mentioned in passing that they had slept together, and I was like, "What? No way, dude!" And he's like, "Yeah, it was kind of awkward though." I was like, "Why? What happened?" He says, "Well, we were getting kind of hot and heavy with it, and you know." She goes to unzip my pants, and I was like, wait, before you do, I have a tiny pecker. And she was disappointed, but she kept going.
Ladies, never had that issue. Just
yeah,
appetite.
well, we know that.
Just appetite, he says. Shut the fuck up.
Just to advertise.
Oh, to
I think it'd be
advertise.
very funny if, I've
My
never
bad.
had that issue either. But I think it'd be very funny to be like, I have a small penis, and then she just goes, "Oh, okay," and then you whip it out, it's actually big, and it's just like, "Gotcha!" Like you just got pranked.
You bitch.
This is how I can tell you guys have
I'm
big
working.
penises is because you think that shit's funny. It's not funny. It's not funny in the slightest.
Guys,
Harper's just like the dream. The dream.
It's not funny.
It's not a dream. It's literally just not funny.
Mankind's
I dreamed a
reach has
dream.
exceeded
Let's
his
be,
grasp.
let's be honest. The women that you are betting will not think it's funny. They will be like, "Why did you lie to me?"
Why did you say that like Trump? Why did you? Let's be honest.
Let's be perfectly frank. Okay.
Let's be perfectly
Those women
frank.
will not be amused. They'll say, "You said you had a small penis."
False advertising, fake news.
Fake news.
God damn it.
It's completely
Yeah.
fake.
I know in my mind, when after that joke was told, and if he's like, "Oh, that's not funny," I was just picturing Harper just thinking about the "I Dreamed a Dream" song from Les Mis.
I
That's what's
dreamed a dream of time
Oh,
gone
The only
by.
reason that I believe
When
that
my-
you guys
my
may not
dick
have dicks as
was
big as you think
6
they
inches
are is you
longer.
watched Les Mis and memorized
I
songs.
dreamed-
When the tigers come at night with
At
their
last.
voices soft as thunder.
I see each other playing Monsieur Le Maire.
This has just become lame is the musical, but instead of it being about being like a poor or like a suffering French person, it's just having a small penis.
We have a different car. How dare you say that about my dick, Javert? How dare you do that? And it's not again. Listen
It's
to
the
me. I'll say it
jackhammer,
only
Jean
once.
Jean Valjean.
My dick is perfectly fine. The women,
just
they may
tried to steal
disagree.
a normal
But
sized
I'll tell you
penis
this.
to
I'll
feed
tell
my
you
family.
I'll feed her. I'll fuck her good. I'll fuck her good.
Okay, Malcolm, we cannot get into the whole musical. We'll brainstorm later. We'll get this going.
Before you pulled on my pants, Javert.
Let's
better
get a
not
user
be scared.
submission because I need to eat dinner and
Mistake.
we need to wrap
It's
this up
pretty
before
small.
D&D starts.
Shut the fuck up, Malcolm. That's pretty good. You got
was
talent for placing it. Good.
Okay, here's a user submission. You guys ready?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, this is a question from someone who'd like to be known as BJ. B, capital J.
Hot.
Their question is, if you could get a blowjob from any historical figure in history, who would it be and why? Their saga recommendation is 212 by Azalea Banks.
Oh.
Any historical.
Thomas Jefferson because he owned slaves.
Wait. You know what? Because he owns slaves.
Harper's
You're like,
Harper's face.
that's such a crazy answer.
What?
The most confounded face I've ever seen on Harper. I'm so proud of my answer because of your reaction.
I was going to say Abraham Lincoln because he freed the slaves.
Two Spider-Men pointing at each other.
It's kind of weird that you wanted to have sex with somebody.
Or no, it's what is it? Yeah, free the slaves versus free the slaves.
Well, you can't say Harriet Tubman now, can you? That's kind of fucking awkward.
Well,
Yeah.
I don't know. If it's what she wants. There were historical things that people speculated that she was lesbian, but that's a whole
Gonna
different
run an
thing.
Underground Railroad on Harriet Tubman.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna. It's more of an underground train.
Okay.
Anyway.
All right. I mean, the funny answer for me would be, I don't know, like Margaret Thatcher, but
Oh, that's terrible.
that would be a
The
terrible
Iron
one.
Lady.
She would probably think she
no.
actually has to blow on your dick.
Yeah, she
Yeah,
would probably
that's-
try like too hard. She probably would think teeth would be a part of it,
Oh,
They
yeah.
can
I
do.
think honestly, like
and
for
British
me,
teeth.
the one that I would say would be, I think Sylvia Plath would give like a mind blowing blowjob. Like I think the poet Sylvia Plath would just be like, and then she'd
Why?
write the craziest poem about you and about your
By that
talk.
logic, Mary Shelley would absolutely blow your brains out.
Oh, she
Yeah.
would, yeah.
because
Oh,
she
for
can,
sure.
she can fuck her cousin like that too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
She
mean,
will.
and her cousin could fuck her sister.
Opium was crazy.
That is actually a true thing. It's technically stepsister, but history's fun.
We're just naming a bunch of celebrities. We have to pick one.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think because
Thomas
there's like
Jefferson, because he owned slaves.
It is insane that you haven't changed that answer. It is funny. It is funny, but the fact that you've selected him purely for the fact there's so many other
It's
people
just
who
that
own
one
slaves.
scene from Hateful Eight. It's great.
That is a movie.
that's a move. What are you talking? Like Thomas
Do you
Jefferson.
not- did you
You
not
don't know what
watch
the
Hateful
fuck you're
Eight?
talking about.
Okay, I'm not going to explain it further.
Thomas Jefferson didn't even free all of his children that he had with his concubine. Like,
Exactly.
that's not good. What are you talking
Do you
about?
think he would enjoy it?
You don't. At least you
Getting
didn't
a
say
blowjob
Stella.
because you hate someone. This is that you might as well have picked Hitler.
I will say this.
That is insane too.
Yeah, that's also
That's
crazy.
your pick. You can have that one.
I will say, thank God you didn't say Sally
Well, he's your
Hemings.
hero. You can have him.
least you-
Fuck off.
At least you didn't say Sally Hemings. I feel like that at least gives
Sally Hemings? Who is Sally Hemings? Why can't I don't...
the concubine that Thomas Jefferson had, who was like his slave.
No,
that he
why
had the
would I
6
do that? She's been through enough.
Yeah, right. Because
You're
yeah,
assuming this is non-con, by the way. That's like Robert's assumption going into this is that it's non-consensual. I love that.
Yeah.
He's just appearing out of nowhere, and their
Why
lips are
would some
around his dick.
random historical figure be into that with you just immediately, just because some hypothetical man named BJ
The
would
genie
be
snaps
okay
his
with it?
fingers, and the figure is blowing your cock. What difference does
Yeah.
it make?
Thomas Jefferson, because he would not like it, and he owned slaves.
What the fuck, dude? Why do you keep picking Thomas Jefferson? I feel like you are slightly misinterpreting the spirit of this question.
Oh my God! I'm
consistently.
going red
No.
in the face. Like, look at my
You are,
face.
you
man.
are red in the face. It's like you're about to burst a blood vessel because Robert
Oh,
is
it's
insisting.
confounding you guys.
It is insane to me that you assume the blowjob would be non-consensual from the get-go. B, that you choose to do a non-consensual blowjob with a figure that you don't respect, and C, that the only pleasure that you would derive out of it is because you think they're a bad person. And that they should
Yes.
suck your cock for it.
Well, show me the illogic.
I would
show me
hate to
the lack
live
of
in
logic.
Robert's Republic because those people at the bottom of the food chain that steal and murder, they're all sucking his dick.
Yeah,
Get grinded by the gears of the
That's not what criminal justice is.
this is insane. This is like the most insane
I'm
response.
sitting by my answer. What's your guys' answer?
I thought it'd be a fun answer. Like I thought you would be
This
like,
may be
ah,
the
it's
funniest
fine.
thing you've
That's
ever
as
said.
fun as it can be.
This is truly all-time answer for you because
All time,
it's
absolutely.
insanity. This is insanity.
If there was an all-star game for jokes that we tell on this podcast, that would be the captain of the
This
West
is
Coast.
going in-
Thanks.
This is going into the compilation of like, what the fuck has just happened at this moment?
Exactly.
Like of this podcast. Holy shit.
Well, what about you, Malcolm? Amelia
Oh.
Earhart?
No, I thought about it. I think it has to be Cleopatra. I feel like Cleopatra.
Sure, yeah, that makes sense.
That'd be
Because
a
you
good
want to
one.
find out if she was black or not, right?
Yeah, I think that's part of it. I want to
She was.
She was
She
not.
definitely.
She was
She's
Mediterranean.
definitely. Yeah, she was definitely probably brown. Like she'd be.
Yeah,
minimal.
olive at least.
Yeah. So I'm down. I would be that, but I make sure Mark Anthony was watching. I want that. I want to be. He'll be in the cuck chair.
Not
That's-
Caesar, just Mark Anthony.
I will. Can you doing both? Is that allowed? Can you choose a tandem?
Oh. Yeah. Could we do a tandem? Could I have?
As in, like, one in the back, one in
Then
the
you
front.
could do Thomas Jefferson's and one of his slaves, Robert.
I would not put them through that.
Wait, Robert. If you had to do a tandem with Thomas Jefferson
And Hitler.
and one other founding father, what's the other founding?
That's a good one. That is a real good one.
It's Hancock, right?
Oh, he's up there. He's up
Is it
there.
So you can
Adams?
slobber on your cock all
It's
big.
not Adams. Adams
What about
is,
Benjamin
Adams is
Franklin?
just barely cool by me.
I don't think you should choose Ben Franklin. Ben Franklin was cool, even though he was,
Ben Franklin.
That guy apparently
he's a
fucked.
bastard, but he had syphilis, so I don't want to touch him.
He was cool.
He fucked.
in a weird way.
Yeah, he'd be good
Yeah.
at it, but
I feel
don't
like
want to do
your answer would be like, no one ever talks about John Jay, so I'm gonna pick John Jay. Or no one ever picks Robert
Robert's never
Morris.
worn glasses in his life.
I'm
Robert-
not, and I don't wear glasses.
Malcolm's tipping the brim of glasses that don't exist.
People don't understand that Peyton Randolph was actually the
A
biggest cock
terrible,
slobber.
terrible person.
Robert
Yeah.
is
George
like,
Washington, why
Benedict
not?
Arnold. I want Benedict Arnold to give me a sloppy toppy for betraying my country.
George Washington, just for the power.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
I mean, it's wooden teeth.
I
Yeah, you can
understand.
take out this. Oh, you'll get blown with the teeth of slaves that are in, in George
Great.
Washington's
Yeah.
mouth.
No, he used the teeth of slaves. Take out those dentures, give it to me.
You're very concerned about slavery for somebody with such a suspicious basement.
They are consenting individuals.
I hear them scream.
I think he also is picking Thomas Jefferson because of like the age that he grew. He was alive during. He could not possibly be more than 160 pounds.
160. Yeah. Thank God.
No, that man's 140
It's
wet. Let's be honest.
But yeah,
Wow.
I'm going Cleopatra, and Mark Anthony can
She'd
be
be
there.
awful at it. It would not. How
As
is the
if
queen gonna give a
Thomas
blowjob?
Jefferson is going to be
Just
any
saying.
better.
It's not about him being good or not.
It's about the psychological play in my twisted mind.
Yes.
And by my, I mean yours. Okay, Harper, what's your answer?
Assuming it's consensual.
Because consent is sexy.
That's right. Because I don't like raping people. It's kind of tough because Robert's put a whole spin on this that makes the answer insidious no matter what you say now. So if I said Joan of Arc, you'd be like, oh, you monster. What if she didn't like men?
No, she was crazy.
Joan of Arc?
Oh, she was a psycho.
Well, just because she thought she talked to God doesn't make her crazy.
And her main lieutenant was a serial killer.
Joan of Arc could be one. I'm going back to my
she
Soviet
could give
plot.
head Joan of Arc, absolutely.
I love how anybody in history, but none of you have mentioned like a single just like actual porn star.
Because that's not fun.
He's a
That's not
historical
fun.
figure.
I assume
Not
they
a
can't be
historical porn star.
alive. Why should I don't want them to be alive. I guess August
yeah,
8th.
2002 Carmen Hayes, you happy?
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%. There we go. That's your answer.
No,
Cap
it's
us
not.
off,
Give a
Harper.
good answer,
Is it
Harper.
Carmelo?
You got a good-
Is it Carmela or Carmen? The African
Carmelo
American woman with
Anthony.
No.
Carmelo
What the
Anthony.
fuck? No. The black woman.
I
with
wanna
the huge
get- yeah.
tits. She's a porn star.
Diamond Jackson.
No, she's good too.
She's
Anyway,
good too. also-
Pinky before she got real
Whatever
fat.
that black woman you always see in those Brazzers ads where you're like, holy fuck, those tits are
She
massive.
is incredible. Is that Maserati?
Yeah, I think that's
That's
I think
Maserati.
that is actually, yeah.
Yeah,
Maserati.
you'll on this.
You know, yeah, I'm gonna choose Maserati just for that.
We didn't even talk about that.
Yeah, we're just
We'll
gonna
talk
switch to porn stars now. So Maserati.
Yeah,
Um,
Yeah, cool. There you go. Incredible history. She's really a trailblazing figure in her industry.
yeah, I mean, her tits are incredible. They're shapely.
Yeah, she got
Her
great
nipples
tits.
are perfect.
They're big.
Joan of Arc probably just because crazy women give insane top.
Hey, good reason and as
Would it be like you'd show up just before-
It's a good as
Okay.
reason as any. And ladies and gentlemen, that's what we like here on the Seinfuck podcast. The KYOT.
Fuck.
The SEINFUCK.
Seinfuck on KYJELLY.
T.